Welcome to Duke Champions.
Listen up. All you ever asked for is an opportunity. You got it today. Where else would you rather be than right here, right now?
Yeah!
Come on with it, baby!
Yeah!
And an uncontrolled outpouring of hip young people.
Yeah!
Sharp insight, Randall Cypher scheming chess moves all night. Alex Miley, big dumb animal roar, smashing hot takes through the studio door. Stats get funky, narratives get thrown. Dude champions, media, Buffalo combat zone. Buffalo combat zone. Beat it, crowd chant, let's go Buffalo.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Duke Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Duke Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Duke Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
Going all right.
Yeah, welcome to the Hot Take Wheel of Death episode of the Buffalo Combat Zone. Please like, share, subscribe, leave comments. We'll comment back. Miley's going to guide us through it. But you guys want to talk about anything before we get into that, or we're just going to be beating a dead horse over and over again about what the Bills need to do?
I don't really got much.
Thursday.
Huh?
The Knicks, 53 years, baby. Before we talk about football,
that was
53 years.
Man, I swear to you, like I'm a Bulls fan or whatever. I guess I don't know anymore. The Knicks. I've had a healthy hatred of the Knicks for years, but honestly, I was rooting for him at the end of the day. This Wemby stuff is weird to me.
Get a little bit unlikable.
He's getting super unlike. He made me sympathize with the Knicks fans beating the crap out of Spurs fans all week. You know, like
that was
I
not
wasn't going to go that far.
That was not appropriate. Yeah.
the reason I haven't said much about that is just because I can already imagine what Buffalo will be like if we ever get a Super Bowl. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be jumping through tables screaming Mr. Brightside when Allen brings home the Lombardi. Yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna be burning anything down, but I'm definitely not going to be calm.
You'll be near a burning building. You won't be doing it. You'll be near it.
I won't be doing any destruction other than tables, but I definitely won't be very calm, and I know definitely Buffalo will be lit on fire somewhere when a Super Bowl. So I can't really say too much.
Yeah. Every place has the group of 5% of fans that suck. So it's everywhere. Yeah. That's what happens. It is what it is. You take the 95% and just know the good. But yeah,
did you see that Spurs fan who was like fighting the whole crowd?
Fight people? Good for that guy. I mean, hey man, if you can do it and you want, listen, a lot of again, when you talk about that 5%, probably only 1% of that 5% is willing to fight. The 4% are just frauds, just doing dumb shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, and I wouldn't even say it's probably less than that. I mean, people get in groups and they get braver, but that guy does not look like somebody who was like a fighter at all either. Like he was kind of like teeter-tottered back and forth. He was a big guy, but he wasn't overly muscular. Yeah, he was just thick, but he could fight. I mean, he was tossing dudes, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So
Also, Vegas lost. That's nice. Yes. Boo, Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
Boo, Jack Eichel.
Can't score goals.
And if anyone tuned in, the UFC fight last night was insane. Best UFC card I've ever watched. I'm not a huge fan, but I watch a decent amount of them, and top to bottom, just every match was a knockout, very, very intense. There wasn't a single really until the last match, the single one didn't get past the third round, and really that one shouldn't have. I'm surprised the doctor let him play through or fight through.
I was wondering when one was going to hit the second round until like midway through. I was like, oh, okay, I got it. We finally, what's his face? What does he call it? The big dude who lost. Yeah. He was like laying on the mat in an armbar, and I was like, is he going to hang on? Remember, it was like, he had to hold on for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, he had that.
He was just like,
but he wasn't putting it in very well. Yeah, he wasn't like, he wasn't really arching his hips or trying to rotate. He was just kind of holding on.
Yeah. Oh man, that was I was hurting for that guy. I just look at his shoulder, kind of inverted or whatever you want to call it, like overextended. But I thought it was an interesting event. The scene was, I mean, the setup was pretty amazing. I'm surprised they got all that together.
Well, he lost about 30 million on it, so
I imagine
he said he's never doing it again. But I mean, I'm glad I got to watch it at least the once. Though
I wonder if he charged people for being in the house, like, and why he chose who he chose. Like, I mean,
the tickets.
Yeah, like Zuckerberg.
They were vets. I think there was no ticket sales, right?
Well, Zuck was in the house.
They were like super. I mean, there was probably a couple like super rich people that got invited.
Tony Hinchcliffe was invited.
But that makes sense.
I mean, how did he get in the house, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that actually kind of makes sense. But my favorite moment was when Sugar Sean, when he dropped the guy and saluted to the flag. And it was Canadian.
Was cool.
That was my favorite moment of the night.
That was pretty cool. When he came into that fight, I mean, I don't know anything about these fighters at all. And he came in and Sugar Shane? I always think of Sugar Shane Mosley. Sugar Sean. He came in the ring, and I could tell right when he walked in, I was like, he's gonna maul this kid. He just looked. The other guy looked kind of a little bit hunched over a little bit, and he just kind of standing firm and just was hitting him with strikes. It was awesome. You want to explain this game to everybody?
Yes. So let me start sharing the screen. All right. So it's pretty easy, but we all three of us have came up with 3 hot takes. We have not shared it with each other going into this, and I put it on the wheel. Each person has 3 hot takes on there, and whoever's up to defend the hot take I will spin the wheel, and we'll just spin it once for example.
Yeah.
And it lands on
Miley.
Hot takes.
Graphics.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this strange thing we're looking at?
My kid watches nothing but YouTube. I'm familiar with these.
All right. Okay. Cool.
So then, say it was Randall who was supposed to defend. It goes my hot take. So I read off one of my hot takes. Randall has to defend it, and then either we would decide before each turn whoever Randall goes against. We kind of will rotate it around, but say he's going against me. So I actually have to defend my own hot take that I created, and then Alex will be the judge, and he will kind of judge who won the argument, and you get a point. And at the end, we each will defend three of them, argue against 3 of them, and be the judge for 3. Whoever has the most points at the end, I guess, kind of wins the game.
I like it. Now,
so since I went blind, my hot takes.
You don't announce your hot take until you get the wheel to spin on it.
But my hot takes, I will be defending, and somebody will be coming at my hot takes. Correct? No.
You might have to argue some of your own hot takes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. No, we don't know. It all depends on the wheel. So it'll be like, well, I guess we'll start with me. I'll defend the first take. Yeah, and then I didn't create a graphic to keep score, but
that's okay.
Yeah, we can. But
I can create a banner.
Okay. Yeah. I probably should have made a wheel with just our 3 names, and we spun that.
That's okay.
To see who goes against who, but I guess I'll go first, and I'll go against Alex first. We'll make it easy. And then the next one, Alex will go against Randall. Randall will go against me, and then we'll rotate. Then I'll go against Randall. We'll kind of rotate it that way. So we each have defend. We each have arguing against each other and defending. And yeah, you get what I mean. But I'll.
So you 2 go first.
Yeah. I'll spin to see whose hot take am I defending. Oh, one of Randall's. You kind of get to choose. What is your first hot take?
Oh, all right.
All right, come on.
Let's see. Which one do I want to pick? All right, this one's a spicy one. Jackson Hawes outproduces Dawson Knox.
Okay.
Do you have to defend that?
Yes.
Oh, good.
All right.
Good. I don't want to. All right, go ahead.
Okay. I could definitely see this. Jackson Hawes, he showed a lot of promise last year. And while he didn't have the receiving upside, him being as good of a blocker as he is, and us losing Reggie Gilliam, he has a safe spot on the team to see a lot of reps on this team. Joe Brady was the OC when we drafted him. Clearly, he likes him. He used him a lot. I get the scheme will change some, but he already showed what he was as a rookie, as a receiver, was what I thought his peak was going to be. I never thought he would be even that good, and he wasn't even that good. I think he already is basically as good as he can get as a blocker. I think he probably this offseason is going to work on his receiving skills a bit, get a little bit better there. And he also is very durable. I'm pretty sure he played all 17 games last year. While Dawson Knox has dealt with some injuries. He's gotten nicked up from time to time. And obviously Kincaid can't really stay healthy. I know he's not part of this, but if, say, we go a 2-week stretch where both Kincaid and Knox are injured, that opens up some path for Jackson Hawes to get some receiving yards. I don't think it will be a high number, but also we haven't seen Dawson Knox have high receiving yard numbers, and I think he can get more touchdowns than him. I get Knox has always been a very good receiving tight end, but that no Gilliam and him being easily the best blocking non-offensive lineman on this team, he will see a lot of opportunities, especially in the red zone. I think he had like 4 touchdowns last year. I think he could end up with there's a scenario where he could have 30 catches for 400 yards and 6 touchdowns, which could outproduce Dawson Knox, especially if Kincaid ends up being healthy and taking all the receiving work, and Knox is just stuck as a backup isn't the entire season.
Should we do a timer, right? Or no?
No, that was good.
Okay, good. That was fine timing wise. I was just thinking about it.
Just try to be don't ramble on too long, I guess.
Yeah. So I actually genuinely disagree with it. I just don't think that his skill set is going to provide a ton of confidence from Josh Allen in terms of the way he plays the game. The chemistry that him and Dawson Knox have at this point in their careers, 7 years or 8 years together, I think that plays really well. I think Dawson Knox is really good at high percentage type of real route running throws like crossers. He does some digs. He does a lot of different nuance to his game. I see Hawes as a Dave Moore clone, ex-Buffalo Bills tight end, Tampa Bay tight end, really excellent blocker. But for the most part, what he's going to win on is these either seam shots or on like outlet plays where the play breaks down and he dumps it off to him in the flat, where he can kind of rumble and stumble down the field. I don't think that he has a skill set that can kind of provide nuance in the route running. He's just kind of athletically, he's a stiffer athlete. And I just don't see them. I think that they have 3 tight ends they really like. I don't think they have any problem with him being the second tight end if Knox gets hurt. But I think the idea is still to have him as the 13 personnel tight end. I think we're going to run less 6-man lines this year as well. So you're going to have less of the Alec Anderson stuff because he's going to be in left guard, and they're going to want to have Jackson Hawes there as that 6th offensive lineman in those plays. Now, this could probably heed some results in the passing game, but it won't probably heed enough result in the passing game due to how we usually run those sets where when we have 6 offensive linemen on the field, we're typically running the ball. So I just don't see the ability for him to get there. Now, we're not talking about a huge bar to clear, but, I think Knox, if he's healthy all year, I mean, he's probably a 400-yard receiver. I think it's going to be hard for him to get those kind of numbers because he's going to have to get minimum 30 catches to get there. That's 2 catches a game. Now, that's not crazy, but he's going to have to, carve that out around all the other receiving weapons, running backs we have, and Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid as well. So I'm against it for that reason, but I'm interested to see what Randall thinks about our arguments.
Okay. Point to Miley.
Yay.
Okay.
You made up the hot take for you, man.
Here's my hot take. The reason why I made that hot take is I think it's a firm possibility that Dawson Knox loses his production because Dalton Kincaid's consistently healthy for 17 games, which then takes away his receiving product. And I do think Joe Brady maybe incorporates some 13 personnel to where they open it up for Jackson Hawes to make people play base and then open it up. And if Dalton Kincaid's covered, he runs that quick route for him. And I agree. It's a close race. Like, who's getting the 240, right?
Whatever, bro. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Fix the banner.
I'm going to try my best. Oh, here we go. Good. All right.
Okay. All right. Point me. Yay.
All right. Miley's winning 1-0.
Yay.
I will be
stop.
I will be neutral
done.
in my takes, by the way. If I'm not defending the take, I promise I'll be neutral. I did like Miley's take on it.
I'm up 1-0. Stop the count.
You see what you've done, right, Randall? You see how you see what's happened here. This is
okay. I have one take in particular that I hope a certain person has to defend. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
me too. I got a really good one.
Randall knows exactly what it is.
I got one for Miley.
I actually stayed away from it.
I actually got it. Let's go. Alex is defending. Alex, you have to defend that Bradley Chubb and Greg Rousseau will both have double-digit sacks this year.
God, that's exactly the one I was going to give you, but in the reverse. But not with Bradley Chubb, just Greg Rousseau. Golly, man. Well, I thought it was my spin. You just spun.
Yeah, I spun for you.
Defend it, Alex.
It's hard for me to defend this. I don't know how to do it. Okay.
I'll do it. You want me to defend it, and then you against it?
No. I'll defend it. I'll play the game.
I want to see Alex try to defend this.
Let me think for a second, okay? Okay. So I feel like a fraud doing this, by the way. Because mine is actually very similar. I'm going to make you do it when you get it, Miley. So payback's coming.
Yeah.
Payback's coming. So I can see where Greg Rousseau, I think Bradley Chubb is on the trajectory up. He's finally healthy. Let's start with him, okay? Last year, he had 9.5 sacks after an injury year. I think it was an Achilles. So we got a year out now. So I think it's fair to say he's only 29 years old. His edge rusher years, that's prime age still. If he can stay healthy the whole year, I think it's pretty guaranteed that this is his trajectory that he should be on. Him playing an outside linebacker position, I think that's going to benefit him greatly, and putting him back kind of where his true position is. And we're going to see some more explosiveness from his side. Also, I think with the addition of TJ Parker and Greg Rousseau already on the roster, he's going to have pressure off of him more so than he did like in Miami with not really having a good running mate the last year because Phillips had left, or half year, I guess is what it was. And let's be honest, Jalen Phillips is not really like a high-end pass rusher either. Like he should be because of his athleticism, but he's just not. I think that the best case for Greg Rousseau hitting 10 sacks, if I'm going to defend it here, is that he's going to have the best pass rusher he's had on the other side since Von Miller. We can agree on that, right? I think that because of that extra pressure off of him, he's going to be able to flourish a little more. And Chubb likes to play outside, on the other side of where Greg Rousseau likes to play. So Greg Rousseau is going to finally get to play on his side of the ball all the time because Chubb likes that opposite side of him all the time. So they're going to be in just one spot where Greg Rousseau is going to feel the most comfort. I think it's left. Is it left end? Do you remember?
Yeah.
It's left end.
He left end.
Yeah. No. Greg Rousseau. He's right end. Greg Rousseau's a right end, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I always get flipped with which direction there. So that's his more comfortable position. In years past, Von Miller likes to play on the right hand side, and it pushed Greg Rousseau to the other side. Same thing with Floyd a few years back. So I think that's going to make him put in the best chance to succeed from that spot. And I think that if there's any time he's going to get double-digit sacks, is going to be in this type of system from that right end spot where he feels the most comfortable. And in addition to that, I think Miley brought it up before, him playing the 9 technique, he's had some good pressure rate success there. And I think that he can utilize that. And from the stand-up position, he can utilize stunts way more in this system. Like, it's really much easier to stunt from an stand-up outside linebacker than it is from a 3-point stance defensive end. So, and I do think Greg Rousseau is really good at that. Like, he's got some skill set there where he can use his movement skills and get into the middle of the line there and bring kind of some more middle pressure from that standpoint. So if they do that, and they may even put him down in the 4-eye at times. I mean, he's been really successful playing in 3 technique when they've given him a chance over the years. I could see them shifting him inside and putting Hoyt out on outside linebacker at times. So I think there's some opportunity here I think with the diversification of the defense where he can excel and get to 10 sacks.
And I still defend it, or I'm the opposite.
You're arguing.
You're arguing it now.
Now I'm arguing.
You don't think, that they both won't get.
Notice I played to Miley's strengths with this. I brought up what Miley said in the past with the 9 tech.
I'm on Miley's side here.
And I'm not.
Okay, so rooting against it. So this is like the opposite, which is great. All right, so obviously Greg Rousseau has not been that big of a pass rush guy coming in McDermott's system. You know, his most is 11 sacks in 2024. He had 9 in 2025. 7 in 2023. So
Russo?
Yeah.
He's never had 11 sacks.
He's never had 11. His max is
8.
8. His career high is 8.
Yeah.
Are you looking at Chubbs?
Anyways, no, I'm looking at Rousseau. Anyways, when it comes down to it, can he reach that double-digit sack? That's debatable. He gets more QB hits. And the way he pass rushes, you know, it will work better in the 9 tech, but when he comes in, sometimes he gets, with his size and length, goes up straight up on the tackle, and then he can't move around until he goes for cleanup sacks. He has difficulty countering when he's right up against the tackle, and that could disrupt his availability when it comes to going clean and getting more QB hits off cleanup than it would be in sack relation. I do think that the system is worked out better for him, but Bradley Chubb, and then on the other side with Bradley Chubb, coming into a familiar system, you know, Dolphins ran a 3-4, so it will be a familiar system with Bradley Chubb, but he is coming into that second year. What at his age, you know, pushing 30 at this point, how much usage are they going to use Bradley Chubb to ensure that he stays healthy coming into the postseason, and instilling Hoyt and TJ Parker as a rookie to make sure that during the regular season, Bradley Chubb's snap count is low in the low spectrum to make sure that his veteran presence is ready for the playoffs. They might limit him, and that's where he results in less than 10 sacks. Other than that, I mean, the rotation that they use, the amount of percentage per snap that these edge rushers might get. What is Javon Solomon going to be? How is Michael Hoyt? Michael Hoyt's looking good to start off, and he's looked like he's ahead of schedule. Does he come off as a sack getter pretty early and stays in that healthy transpire, even though he might, you know, be 100% when it comes to November? What if he gets 4 sacks before November and clears out after November, and then they start utilizing him more? So I guess what my final argument would be, realistically, even if Greg Rousseau can work up that double-digit sack, which is firmly positive, Bradley Chubb might be limited in his snap share to ensure that he's healthy in the postseason.
So the snap share was a very, very good point, Randall. But Alex did a good job of pandering to knowing exactly how I wanted that.
So you better give me a damn point.
What are you talking about?
He brought up
like, that's all Miley stuff. So point him.
That's exactly every single point he brought up has been my exact talking points this entire offseason.
That's debate.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this.
Pander to the freaking
together on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I've beaten it to a dead horse, all of those points. So Alex did a good job of. I was waiting for him to bring up the pressure rate of the 9 tech.
Yep.
Yeah. Once he brought that up, it was that was a dagger.
Debating 101, man. You got to pander to the host, or what do you call it? The moderator. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So y'all two.
So the next one
now.
is Randall is defending. I'm arguing. And then we will go to Alex is defending. I'm arguing. So we're going to switch the order up, and then we'll switch it a third time.
Okay.
Spin it. Whose take?
Please give me one. Come on. Yes.
There you go. Oh, are you really gonna? Don't.
No, I'm not doing that yet. I'm gonna wait.
Not good for the audience, dog.
All right, so who's defending?
Yeah.
defending.
Randall is defending.
Okay. I'm just deciding between the two which one to do. Okay. Keon will get benched by week 6, not based on performance, but based on another issue combined, like another off the field thing, combined with Skylar Bell performing well in at least 1 week of the season. Like they're going to have confidence in him to replace him with him.
Okay, so are you saying that Skylar Bell will have a good week between week 1 and 6, and that leads to at 6 Keon getting benched because they have the confidence in bringing Skylar Bell into his position?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, what's the saying? 1's random, 2's a trend, 3's a problem. Mm-hmm. So I think we're at the trend in number 2 technically, even though we don't know a lot of the stuff that's going on. So 3's a problem, and 1, to be honest, Keon Coleman probably missing 1 or 2 meetings with Joe Brady as the head coach is probably going to be the last straw. He's probably on a lot of his last straws when it comes down to it. His effort, his attitude, what Student Body talked about last week on our pod with his attitude amongst veterans is weird behavior, in my opinion. And I think that when you create a hostile work environment, even though it's a large team, but you understand that you may be somebody that brings hostility to it, especially to veterans, that word gets out there. And as a head coach, you can't, as a first-year head coach, you cannot sit there and let veterans, along with your whole entire team, have a culture like that, especially when you have people like CJ who is loud and emphatic, and that some people have hostility problems, and he's coming out in these training camps as looking at that dog that wants to bring that energy and be that positive influence on it. If Keon Coleman does not show up to a meeting, or if he's consistently late, that is basically a stark black and white difference in how you handle yourself and being emphatic and being that kind of bright light. But then if you bring that negative tone to it, then you got to go. So for Joe Brady, he has to be a no-nonsense guy when it comes to Keon Coleman. And he's allowed to be that, because if he says, hey, he missed another meeting and that's that, everybody's going to know what he did in the past, and everybody's going to say, yeah, that makes sense. You can go. Skylar Bell is built like an NFL receiver in his physicality. So I do think that when it comes to his physicality and his route running, especially at the catch point and at the stem, he will be able to overpower DBs to show that he could run a 484 game and maybe a touchdown. That's good enough to be like, okay, well, yeah, you can take that role. So when it comes to Skylar Bell, I think it's I would say simple task, because our first 6 games are pretty rough. Maybe he does it in the Raiders in week 6, and then week 7's the bye, and then week 8 Skylar Bell comes on and Keon gets benched, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what happens. But he would have a tall task against those tough teams, but maybe he can still get it done with like 484 and take that spot. But I do think that is pretty plausible.
I can't believe I have to defend Keon Coleman. This goes against everything I believe in.
That's right,
but
bitch. So glad Randall got
Yo, you guys are vindictive. My hot takes were nowhere near as vindictive.
I got 2 of them right. That was the first one.
Okay, my other 2 are a bit better. But anyways, so with Keon, yeah, he had those problems last year. But all offseason, Joe Brady has said that the best thing that could happen to Keon was him being hired as head coach. He was a big influence on Keon being drafted. And I think Keon has got to have matured at least a little bit from last year with how badly last season ended. I think he is going to learn his lesson. First-year head coach who's been hyping him up all offseason. You never really saw McDermott hype up Keon the way Joe Brady has. I think Keon takes that vow of confidence and doesn't want to prove him wrong, realizing that this is his last chance. If he blows it, he is done with the Bills, and he is going to who knows if he even gets another opportunity. Like the clock is ticking on him, and I think he realizes that, and he is not going to want to blow the opportunity. And Joe Brady was going to want to make this work. Also, when it comes to Skylar Bell, I think Josh Palmer's ahead of him in the depth chart. I don't think, even if Keon does get benched, I don't think it's going to be Skylar Bell that replaces him. I think it's going to be Josh Palmer, because I am still a big fan of Josh Palmer's game, and I think he would be I think his downfield threat ability will be a very nice touch to the way Joe Brady wants to air the ball out more this year, as he said multiple times, as he's talked about wanting to implement a deep passing game plan. He's a Sean Payton guy. Sean Payton loves to throw it deep. And I think that if Keon does get benched, they will go with the veteran before they go with the rookie. I really like Skylar Bell. I just think that he is kind of buried on the depth chart. And I think unless Josh Palmer gets injured and Keon does Keon things, I just don't see him breaking through, especially that early into the season. I think they're going to give both of those guys run over him. And I think Keon is going to come in with a new attitude after how bad last season went. I know that was the same thing last year, and everyone hyped him up in training camp, and he fell flat on his face. I think a new scheme may be able to lock something in him that we haven't seen yet. And I believe that this will work out somewhat, and I don't think he's going to have the off-the-field issues. Maybe it's on-the-field issues that get him benched, but I think Joe Brady's vows of confidence into Keon this offseason has kept him motivated to not prove him wrong and not lose his last chance with the Bills.
It's funny. I want to be fair because I know this is my hot take, right?
Hopefully we start getting where the judge doesn't have their own hot take.
Yeah. Well, my inclination is not to give you the point based on that alone, right? And to even the numbers out. But I think you made a good point though, like because it's something.
I don't know. What are you talking about? A do or die reason is a do or die reason. Like we can all say everybody's got their last chance. It's year 3. Of course you got to do it now, right? And then when you can say Keon Coleman sucked. I said that before that.
What I would say is like the one piece of doubt that Miley put in my head just now, being objective, okay, is that Skylar Bell may actually not be the next guy on the depth chart potentially. And because it's so early, I probably should have phrased this question like before the end of the year or something, like before the playoffs or maybe week 12 or something. That's what makes me feel like I need to lean to Miley because he actually gave me a little doubt.
6. That was your fault. I had to force week 6. What are we talking about here?
Well, I mean, it did
you said week 6. I was like, are we sure we're talking about week 6? And you could tell that I was like shaky. I was like, right, no, man, there's 5 hard games and one easy one.
It's my wallet. Got a heads and a tails. Okay. Call it in the air, Randall. Ready?
Tails never fails.
Tails never fails. It landed on its side. Hold on.
It's tails.
No, it landed like that. Ready? One more time.
Is it like both?
Tails won.
There you go. Okay. Even it out.
Okay.
Miley, if I was defending it, if I was a third party, I would have took you too, buddy.
Yeah.
But I'm a big optimism guy. Like I do. I'm with it. Like Keon Coleman, man.
I think
your money's running out
by the end of the year. I just think Palmer it's before him, and I also think I don't think it's going to be off the field issues. I think Keon just sucks.
I think Josh Palmer is going to have a shaky start personally, based on what his injury was and what his confidence level is. So I think Skylar Bell could get in the mix, but when it comes down to it, I mean, like your nil money and your initial money is probably running out. Like you got to think about that second contract, Keon. You got to get paid.
Yeah, okay, so got to think about it now.
Yeah, now.
So now we got Randall we got Alex defending against me. I'm arguing the second one in a row. Hopefully we get not Randall's take, so he's not judging his own take again. How about I'm going to do it where if it's our own,
it's Randall again.
Yeah, I'm going to spin it again. We're going to do it where we can't judge our own hot take.
Okay, that's good. So I like that's the best one to do actually.
Yeah, another Alex.
Okay, Alex, your second hot take.
I'm defending the take.
Yeah, you're defending it.
Okay. TJ Parker will outsack Greg Rousseau.
Let's go. I get to argue against this.
And Greg Rousseau will not have, and it will be but they will be both under 10 sacks.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my point with this hot take was pretty simple. I just don't think Greg Rousseau has it in him. I think I think this system, I do believe what I said last time. Like this is a better system for him for sure. And I do think Bradley Chubb being on the other side helps, but I think he might just be who he is. I think he's just an edge setter, good against the run, gets you some cleanup sacks occasionally, doesn't usually win super cleanly off the edge. And he's just a player that's going to be really solid as your defensive end too. And he's never going to get you like high end sack production. Could he get to 10? Maybe. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's likely, because even with the benefit of having a Chubb on the other side, I think that TJ Parker and Michael Hoyt are both going to take some snap share away from this defensive line. I think it's going to be a true rotation with these guys. So I could see some of these other players actually making the most noise. For instance, Michael Hoyt, we saw what he did last year. We had Groot on one side, and it wasn't Vaughn. Who was on the other side last year?
Joey Bosa.
Bosa, that's right. And Hoyt went crazy, right? I think Hoyt's going to be in that same type of role. And I think we're going to see three of them on the field more often together than we may guess. And then I think TJ Parker is going to be tossed into this rotation. And it may not be even snap share, but I think that they're going to, like I said, I think TJ Parker is a better pass rusher, like from the college level, than Greg Rousseau ever was. I think where he wins from is important. I think Greg Rousseau won a lot from the middle of from the 3-tech and even nose tackle at times in college, where the predominantly most of his sacks were coming from not the edge position. So unless they truly do move him around as this kind of hybrid player like a Michael Hoyt, I think he's going to be kind of stuck in the mud and be in the same situation he was before. You're only going to get so many sacks in a season, right? And if you're like, hey, I'm going to get, we've got 4 defensive ends and they're going to total a grand total of 30 sacks, I don't think it's going to be 10, 10, 5, 5. It's going to be like 11, 8, 7, 6, or whatever the numbers are. I just think it's going to be more of an approach of less leaning on a pass rusher and more of a schemed up situation where you're going to have a nice split with pass rushing with sack numbers. And that's why I think he's not going to hit those numbers. TJ Parker, on the other hand, I think that his pass rushing upside is much better than Greg Rousseau. And I think he'll out sack him. I don't think he'll get 10 either. I'm thinking like 8 and 6 or 8 and 7 or something like that. But that's kind of my thought process around that one. And I wasn't actually expecting to defend that point, by the way. I thought it was going to be somebody else doing it. So I'm glad I could ration that out.
Okay. So we've already heard all of my points for why I think Greg
for my last point.
Yeah. So instead, I'm going to argue why I just don't think TJ Parker gets that many sacks.
Okay.
One, I think DJ Parker only gets like 5, maybe 6 as a rookie. And I think a lot of that just has to, I don't think he's going to get the playing time, especially early on. With a new system, I think Jim Leonard's going to want to rely on veterans first. And also with how much they've talked up Javon Solomon, I think Javon Solomon's going to take away TJ Parker snaps before he takes away Greg Rousseau snaps. I could see TJ Parker kind of being Greg Rousseau's rotation on early downs and not getting enough. I don't think he's going to get enough third down opportunities to rack up the sacks like I think Greg Rousseau will. I think Greg Rousseau on third downs might rotate more with Hoyt or Solomon, or maybe they bring up a Terrell Bernard and blitz him at the line. I just don't think TJ Parker gets as many opportunities because he is kind of the same way. He's like as Rousseau and Chubb. He's more of a pocket compression, run stop first, but can also get after the passer type guy. And I think they'll want to use that more on early downs as he continues to develop his pass rush plan for this new system. So they have veterans in there instead of the rookie. And I think that just makes a lot of sense. I could see him getting maybe if Chubb gets injured or them not wanting to use Chubb a lot, but I think they will want to use their top guys a bit more than McDermott has. Maybe not as much as he was running Joey Bosa out there last year, but I think Greg Rousseau is going to get more playing time this year than I think he got in any season under McDermott. I think even though I think Bradley Chubb is a better pure pass rusher, I think Greg Rousseau is a better overall outside linebacker, like edge guy, because how good he is against defending the run and just is, I mean, not saying Chubb's bad against the run, but I think Rousseau is better overall player and I think can do more things well. So I think he is going to get the most playing time. Then it'll be Chubb, then Hoyt. And then I think Parker, he's only going to sit maybe like a 35-40% snap share. And I don't see him being able to rack up 7 or 8 sacks which I think is Greg Rousseau's floor. His floor is 7 sacks. So if TJ Parker gets more, he's going to have to get 7.5 or 8, because even I think the last 4 years, he's only gotten under 7 once, and it was like 6.5. when he played with last year he had 7. The year before he had 8. Yeah, he had 7 last year. And then when he played with Von Miller, when Von Miller was actually healthy, his second year when he was still very raw, he was on 10.5 sack pace until he got injured. And then when he came back, Von Miller was already injured, and he ended up, I think, with only only getting like 2 more the last month and a half of the year. So his floor is 7-8 sacks with Rousseau. I don't think his ceiling's extremely high. I think it's maybe 10 or 11. But TJ Parker is going to have to get 8 sacks if he wants to have more than Groot, and I just don't see him getting the snap share. And I don't think he's developed enough as a pass rusher right away to be able to reach that number.
Can I give one rebuttal though?
Quick.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool. So Greg Rousseau's numbers last 3 years are 5.87, right?
Okay, yeah. So 5 was the year before. I think he had 7. 7.587.
8.587.
Yeah. So yeah, I think his floor is 7.
And then 2024's 8 were padded by a 3 sack game.
I think it was 2.5 sack game.
I don't know. I thought it was like 3 or 3. I thought it was more, but so I feel like 2 years ago was a little bit fluky because of that reason. I also think TJ Parker I'm banking it on his upside of like showing flashes of a high-end pass rusher, and then on those third down situations, putting him in the game versus putting in Greg Rousseau, saying, hey, we need pass rush. It's obvious passing down. We're going to have a better defense as far as keeping people behind the sticks, and they're going to let him tee off more. That's basically my point. But that's all. I'll keep it short. My like super quick rebuttal to that is I think Greg Rousseau is a current better pass rusher than TJ Parker. TJ Parker sure is better upside, but I think you're just way too low on Greg Rousseau's pass rushing ability. Greg Rousseau's pass rushing repertoire to me is like bull.
Kind of TJ Parker though, because TJ Parker is bull rush, and they actually I'm kind of giving away who I'm going to pick. But Greg Rousseau through Von Miller learned all his hand fighting through Von, and that's what TJ Parker is really, really good at, is his hand fighting and the way he manipulates leverage through his hands. Yeah. So I'm going to judge it on Miley because I think the point that put me over the edge is that I do believe that TJ Parker's ceiling is 7 sacks, whilst Greg Rousseau's floor is 8, and that just leaves it right there.
I mean, even if his floor, you're right. I think that was kind of the point when he mentioned it, that I was like, I think I'm going to lose this, because you're right. His floor probably, just looking at it, right, is probably 7, right?
Right.
That means Parker's going to have to get minimum 7 to win this competition. Right. 7.5, right? So he's going to have to get 8. The likelihood of a rookie getting 8 while splitting time is probably unlikely.
Right. So but I love TJ Parker, and I think in this offseason it's proving that we picked the right person too.
I think he's got the upside to maybe next year he might have more sacks than Greg Rousseau, the year after. I just don't see it as a rookie.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so I'm defending. Randall's arguing, Alex is judging. I think that's what we're at. Yeah, and that no. Randall's defending, Alex is arguing, I'm judging.
That's right. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
So it just can't be one of my. So if it's one of my takes, we'll respin this. It's got to be either Alex's last take or or Randall. Okay, Alex's last take.
It's my last one I got. So.
And am I defending it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so Alex argues
if this is for an Alex
then that's a sucky part because I'm the one who wanted it. All right. Cole Bishop's going to get votes for second team All Pro at a minimum.
Oh.
I almost had the same thing before.
He will.
For my argument, for one of mine.
I know.
I didn't, but I almost picked Kincaid for that exact thing.
Yeah, I didn't understand the assignment originally, so.
Yeah, I mean.
Good.
Yeah, I mean his ascension from year 1 to year 2 after that injury in year 1 was absolutely incredible. The way that he fits Jim Leonard's system is exactly what we were talking about, who we needed in the draft, until Jim Leonard would not reveal who his favorite player on the defense is. And we all knew it was basically Cole Bishop. He just wouldn't say that name when it came down to it. But his versatility and his athleticism and his range leaves Cole Bishop to basically be a roamer around the field and have multiple duties, whether they be simplistic or difficult. But when it comes down to it, I think the reason that he will get all pros, other than probably potentially leading our team in interceptions, because I do think that the free range in his athleticism will give him first level interceptions, second level interceptions, and third level interceptions, is him coming down in the box and run stopping and delivering sacks. Because Jim Leonhard will bring his DBs in for pressures and sacks, and I do believe Cole Bishop can rack up a good amount of sacks as a safety. So the combination of his range, what Jim Leonhard is going to basically spotlight him in 3-4 roles of this defense, and how he communicates in that backfield, I think Jim Leonhard's going to set him up for an all-pro run to get him extended. And just his versatility, his ball skills, and athleticism gets him minimum. I agree with you. Second team all-pro. I wouldn't be surprised if he's first team.
All right. I had to pull up. I've got to undercut my own argument, so I had to think of something low blow here. So first and foremost, no one's voting for a white safety in the all-pro argument. I'm just joking.
Hey, let's have
Harrison Smith.
Let's have a milk check conversation.
I'm joking. Okay, so here's my main part of my argument. I think that goes against it. Okay, because when I said it, I was kind of like, man, that's actually it is actually a hot take if you think about it. Okay,
it is.
It's not a likely take. So first and foremost, how many safeties make all-pro first or second team? 4 safeties, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we got Kyle Hamilton, Brian Branch, Xavier McKinney. You can throw Jesse Bates in there if you want to. Derwin James, Antoine Winfield. I wouldn't put Buddha or Minka. I think he's got more of a head up over them. Julian Love. So I guess my main point is this: and here's the other point. I say my main point is this: I think there's not enough spots for him to make an all-pro team. He's not well known enough, and it's a popularity contest still at the end of the day, right? Like we know the guys who typically make all-pro teams, especially like offensive linemen, lesser known positions that people have less opinions about. They're gonna heed towards the more well-known name, like a Derwin James or Kyle Hamilton, than a guy like a Cole Bishop who just hit the scene. Also, I don't think, although Bishop had 3 interceptions last year, I think that's kind of a mid-tier number for a good safety. I don't see him being a massive interception king kind of guy. He's going to have to fill the stat sheet up in multiple different ways, and it's going to have to be well-renowned. Like people are going to have to talk about him, and I think that's going to be very difficult to do in order to get his name into the media so they actually give him real votes. Also, if he gets out interception by CJ GJ, then he's going to have a really hard time because they're going to look at interceptions first when it comes to the DBs. And I think that's going to also overshadow him potentially. All I'm trying to do here is create doubt more so than anything else, because I do believe in him. I think that even if he didn't make all-pro second team, I think he's probably if he played like he did last year, to me, he's a top 5 to 10 safety in the NFL. The question is whether the voters will see the same thing, and he's going to have to put on a show in order to raise it, because he can't just do like Kyle Hamilton gets 2 picks. They're just going to vote for Kyle Hamilton. We already know that, right? Like if he stays healthy and the Ravens are decent and he gets 2 interceptions, they're going to be like, oh, Kyle Hamilton's best safety in football. So he's going to have to not just do as well as these guys. He's going to have to elevate to get noticed by the media. And I think that's why it's an unlikely scenario. And that's why it was a hot take, because I didn't think it was super likely, but I was ready to defend it.
Quick rebuttal. And I'll just say real quick.
Yeah, I'll give you it. Yep.
Second team all-pro is Xavier McKinney. He had 1 sack, about 76 tackles, a 56% reception rate, 2 interceptions, 9 PBUs. I think he clears those stats pretty easily to get at least enough recognition for second team. I do agree that I think Buffalo's not popular enough it's very difficult because Buffalo's not popular enough in the votes to get first team, but I think he clears those stats without a doubt this year and easily gap it to where he is second team no matter what.
I just think he's going to have to fall, just as a second rebuttal. I think just 10 seconds. I think he's going to have to more than just clear it. I think he's going to have to put on a show to get noticed. And that's my point. I think he may get 3 picks, but he's going to get 5+ in my opinion. So people are like, oh shit, he's here,
I thought Randall made a really good argument, but I kind of have the same thought process, Alex, where I think he's going to get the Christian Benford treatment.
Right.
I think Cole Bishop is going to be a top 5 safety in football next year, and is going to get the Christian Benford treatment. Where Benford should have been a first team All Pro, not this past year, but the year before, and didn't even get a second team All Pro. I think Cole Bishop might have the same thing where it's like Kyle Hamilton is the best safety, and Cole Bishop might be number 2, like how Pat Surtain was the best corner, and there was an argument that Benford was number 2, but he didn't even get an All-Pro because of it. So I'm gonna have to go with Alex because I just have that exact same feeling, that thought process.
That is the right answer
when it comes down to it. Is Cooper DeJean considered a safety or corner right now?
I think he's slot corner.
He's a corner.
Yeah,
nickel.
He's nickel. Yeah,
and Branches too. By the way, he's a safety, like a. I mean, shoot, Kyle Hamilton plays nickel a lot, they run a lot of 3 safety sets. I think the Ravens do more than anybody else. He's just assumed to be a safety because of his size.
Right.
All right, cool.
I defend the next one against Randall.
Fights. Yeah.
Okay.
One of my hot takes, I actually can be the judge for, because I don't even know if I believe it. I kind of just wanted to throw it in there to be a little bit different.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, we got it. My hot takes are gone.
Yeah.
Remember.
Okay. All right, then I'll go with my other one.
3.
Okay, so
I'm not like.
Let me get this one out of it.
Oh, you already updated the wheel. That's cool.
I've been updating as it goes.
That's
I
nice.
can't.
Yeah. All right. So my hot take is that Josh Allen will have over 5,000 yards from between rushing and passing this year.
Who's defending?
And I am defending it, and I think it's as simple as I think this passing offense is going to be the best it's been since 2021. I don't think it's going to be as good as it was in 2021, but I think this is going to be the best it has been since then. Maybe 2022, but I think it's going to be more consistent this year because I think we're deeper than we were in 22 and 23, where we still had Diggs, but it was like Gabe Davis was wide receiver 2, and then it was like Trent Sherfield and Isaiah McKenzie, and I think that having DJ Moore, and I think Shakir's a lot safer because Beasley fell off after 21, and I think Shakir's a safer slot than Isaiah McKenzie. I think Palmer and Bell are better than I think we can get safer out, or might be equivalent to what we got out of Gabe Davis. I think their production can kind of even out with Palmer being a deep threat. I think DJ Moore can put up not as good of numbers as Diggs put up in 22 and 23, but I think better number, or I think still very good numbers, close numbers. And I think the kicker why this passing offense will be like that is Kincaid staying healthy. I think that when our passing offense was super proficient in 2021, it was Dawson Knox's best season where he ended up getting paid after. I think Kincaid will be easily better than that as a receiver than Knox was in 2021. So you have DJ Moore, you have Khalil Shakir, you have Dalton Kincaid. I think you can count on those guys to be pretty good. There's question marks after that, but all offseason, Joe Brady has said, I am a Sean Payton guy. I want to throw the ball more. I want to get work on this deep passing attack. It's buzzwords, but at the same time, you don't continue to say you're a Sean Payton guy and then not want to throw the ball a bunch. That's like the Sean Payton motto is a lot of short passes, screens to Shakir and DJ Moore, and deep passes to like Josh Palmer and DJ Moore. And then you got the intermediate with Kincaid. And you also have the wild cards. Maybe Keon proves us wrong. Skylar Bell. Maybe James Cook finally starts to live into that Alvin Kamara comp he had coming out of college. Ty Johnson and Ray Davis are both capable receivers. Even Knox and Hawes, we already debated it. I think both of them can bring a bit of value. I just think this is the deepest it's been since 2021. I don't think it'll be as good, but I think Josh can easily have like a 4,500 yard passing season, 550 rushing yards, and that gets him over 5,000 yards. And I think he is, after kind of how last season ended, and he had probably his worst year since 2019, and then the playoff blunder, and now he has a kid. I think his mind's going to be clear, and he's just going to be so much more locked in and focused on getting the job done this year with a new coach. They have something to prove after how last season ended. And I think Josh is going to come out on a tear.
Now I got a low blow.
Yeah. You have to argue against Josh.
All right. Well, something that Miley doesn't understand is that, maybe you get clear head when you have a child, but a 6-month-old in September or November, while the mom is up till 3 a.m, and then you have to wake up and go to practice, and you got a beautiful wife stressed out. That puts a little stress on you when it comes to game day on Sunday when you're trying to help out with diapers and everything along those lines. But all right, so we're looking at yeah, I don't know. I think they're responsible enough where they won't nanny that much. But anyways, 2023, he had 4,700 yards, and that's what you're kind of looking at getting. You're right, Molly. Probably need about 4,600 yards passing. That was Diggs' last year, where he had about 1,200 yards. So that you need DJ Moore, in my opinion, to basically break 1,000 yards. So you need both to happen for him to be able to be efficient in his passing, as well as getting another 1,000-yard receiver, which hasn't happened since Diggs. So do you get 1,000 yard in year one on DJ Moore? That's a question mark, and I think that's a big piece into getting over 5,000 all-purpose yards. On the rushing standpoint, possibly, if I take a James Cook is on a heater, and I do believe that he continues into this year. As we saw Ray Davis ascend from half of the first year to the second half year, I think the duo of RB1, RB2, and RB3 takes away a little bit of his rushing. So if we're talking about Josh Allen getting 600 yards rushing, maybe it dips to 400 because our three-headed monster of the run game can diminish that, and he won't need a lot of design runs in himself if our running backs are picking up first downs, and then his tush pushes are only amounting to 2-3 yards at a time. So with that comes in a dip of his yards. So can you reach 4,604? I mean, that's cutting it close. That's debatable. I think that I do agree with Miley that the offense will be prolific. If Dalton Kincaid gets injured, I don't think that's a possibility at that point. I think you kind of take that away. Hopefully, DJ Moore can get his 1,000, but that's predetermined. He doesn't have one since Diggs left. So everything needs to come together in a new offense, new head coach to be able to get over 5,000 purpose yards. I think the rushing dips this year, as well as the counting on DJ Moore to break 1,000 yards would probably put him over 5,000, but that's debatable in a first-year trade.
Okay. Yeah, I think DJ Moore gets over 1,000. I think it's like 1,050.
So, this is what my thought is. Josh Allen's best statistical passing year is 4,544 yards in 2020, right? Diggs had 1,500 plus yards that year. Josh's year that year, he only had 421 yards rushing. That's without James Cook. That's with a Devin Singletary. Now, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I do think that there's a chance here, right? But he missed 5,000 in that year. Unless you think the passing game is going to be much better than that season. And I do think he's going to start fading a little bit on the rushing as well. I just think I don't think it's going to go away. I think it's going to be there, but I just think he's going to lose a step of speed from when he was 21, 22, 23 years old. And in addition to that, he's going to think about his body more. I think the kid thing plays into that more than anything else of protecting his body, more so than that. So I'm going to go with Randall here, although I can totally see where Miley's coming from.
I kind of felt like I don't think I'm going to win this
one. I do think he's going to get over 5,000. I think DJ Moore is going to get over.
I believe.
I was lying to my team.
No, but it's funny. Like my next hot take, it kind of goes against one of the points you made. It's funny enough, kind of goes against one of the points you made when you were arguing that we'll get into when it lands on it.
I think both of y'all made good points. I think they could see going. I think this is like one of the better arguments because even Josh's best statistical year, the rushing dipped much lower. Then he had the next 2 years, he broke 750, right? But the last 2 years, he's had less than 580 yards, both seasons in a row. So the likelihood of him getting back over 750 to me is unlikely. So I think 500 probably at best.
Yeah.
At best. So he's going to have to hit 4,500 yards passing, which I think he absolutely could. But I think if he does, I just think it's going to be more of a James Cook show and maybe even a Ray Davis show. Based on comment.
I think a big thing, if Ray Davis performs very well this year, it unlocks another facet of our offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'll be in the ballpark of 4,500 yards passing this year for sure. Like I think it's on the board.
Yeah,
I just think it's like
it's close. I think he's going to end up between 4,900 and 5,100.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
If he stays healthy, it's like I don't see it going. So like that's where it's like 5,000 is right in the middle. I think it's like a perfect line.
He missed his best passing year. He missed it by 40 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, he also if he would have played the entire weeks, that was also in a 16-week season, I think, and he only played. Yeah, it was in a 16-week season,
and he only
played. Yeah, so he only played 15 and a half games.
He missed he missed a lot of halves that year.
Oh, we were blowing out a lot. I
remember the Texans game. Like these, I mean, he was missing
2021 was that Texans was I think they had more blowouts in 21.
Yeah, it might have been, but I remember he had blowout. We were 13-3.
The defense wasn't as good in 2020. In 2021, where our defense was on that level and our offense was that efficient.
He probably did like, if I had to guess, it was probably like a 14.5 game season for him at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, because he's missing fourth quarters here and there or half of quarters and stuff like that. So, all right, cool.
Okay.
Let's go.
I think we're going to do Randall defending against Alex arguing for this next one.
Got to be Randall, right? Because only one.
Yeah. well, actually, no. We'll just give it to Rand. We'll just honestly, let's just give.
Are you sure? I mean, we can do the last two. That's mine. They're different things. So
no,
I mean,
actually, let's do Randall, and that way the last spin will be just a guess of what it's going to be. It'll still be an up in the air 50-50 thing.
Yeah. Okay, so Randall, whichever take you wanted to defend out of your two, I guess.
Okay. Well, this was kind of open because I thought you guys were going to do it. So, but we can still do it. But so you can pick between these guys or how it plays out. But either Caleb Elarm's Orr's plays or Terrell Bernard's play results in Terrell Bernard getting traded at the end of the year.
Oh, that is.
You're defending that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm defending it.
Go for it.
Okay. Caleb Elarm's Orr is basically his Jim Leonard's guy right now. Loving the way he does, his versatility, what he can do. What Caleb Elarm's Orr does is he's a three-facet guy, but he's an athletic, rangy guy. So putting him next to Terrell Bernard can work, but really I think what Jim Leonard would like is a different style of inside linebacker next to Caleb Elarm's Orr. So Caleb Elarm's Orr comes in as a starter next to Terrell Bernard, but really what Jim Leonard is thinking of next year is that he wants to move into that more insider weak linebacker into Terrell Bernard's spot and fill an insider Big Mike style run stopper next to Caleb Elarm's Orr. And his play for this year is good enough to where Terrell Bernard becomes trade bait next year.
Okay. I'll make this really short and sweet.
That is interesting.
I don't disagree with a lot of what you're saying, but I think that Terrell Bernard could potentially, depends on if we bring on Shaq Thompson or not, but I mean, he could lose his job to Dorian Williams.
Terrell Bernard?
I think he could. I'm not saying he will. I'm just saying, I think there's an opportunity
I have high
here.
hopes for Terrell Bernard. So I just think the system's going to fit differently. And then we actually have a trading chip in Terrell Bernard that we typically don't use to gain better capital in the draft.
But okay, yeah, I agree with that. I think here's the problem is that first of all, I think the vibes are low on him right now. There's some weird vibes going on with him with that helmet shit and everything else, right? I'm not saying it's going to affect his play, but it doesn't feel good to me. I also think that Caleb Elarm's Orr, I was thinking about this today, actually. I think that Caleb Elarm's Orr could just end up being the green dot, at the end of the day, and letting Terrell Bernard play a little freer. Either way, if Bernard,
I think they want Caleb Elarm's Orr to play that free. That's my argument. Is the freeness of Caleb, like Cole Bishop would be, is what he wants to do. And if he's sitting next to Terrell Bernard, he kind of has to be the line of scrimmage guy because Terrell Bernard will run free better. So at that point, then the kind of similarities and differences, Jim Leonard will want the rookie contract, the guy he loves that came into his system, and then Terrell Bernard's that trade chip.
Here's my kind of final take on it, because I'm going to keep it short, is that there's a reason they're not going to trade him.
You save $2 million. You save $2 million next year on a trade.
No, you lose.
Yes,
4.
you do. Did you switch it to trade? I already checked.
Where is it?
You save $2 million with an $8 million dead cap next year.
I usually go over the cap is easier to look
over
at
the cap is way better.
Yeah, I like Spot Track, but like for specifically when you're looking at cuts versus trades,
okay,
Spot or over the
you're going to save. So either way, though, you're going to take on $9 million in dead cap for a player.
It's already paid out. You save 2, but what if you gain a third?
Oh, there's no way we're getting a 3rd round pick for him.
If he plays well enough, a high leverage. Well, that's
injury.
I mean, that's kind
player.
of your opinion at this moment.
Yeah.
Because we've seen good Terrell Bernard.
Yes.
And last year he was hurt all year. So his recovery can be good enough to where he gets back to his normal self. Right. I just don't think that Jim Leonard wants both of those guys as an inside linebacker, and you have a veteran trading chip into next year.
What's the likelihood if this is my thought. He's hurt plenty. Last year was bad, but he had been hurt. What was it, 2 years before that? He had been in and out of the lineup too, right?
McDermott should have put him on IR last year.
He should have.
Yeah.
I still think that's a high cap hit to take for a player, right? Even though it's a $2 million savings. I don't think the amount of money, I don't think the amount of trade asset we'll get back will make sense for us. Linebacker is a low value position and he's an expensive one. And I think that the likelihood of him like raising his level to be a new player almost, I think it's low. And I also think that to me, he's like a 5th round value, maybe a 4th if he really shines this year, but they're going to look at his previous history of his injuries. And I just think that we're also kind of up against it. Linebacker room's thin, man. Dorian Williams, not like an ideal starter.
You got a whole offseason.
Huh?
You got a whole offseason after. If you trade him, get a good offseason, more inside run stuffing linebacker.
You might be able to get another guy for sure. Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind, but I just think with the amalgamation of all those different factors, it makes, to me, feel unlikely. I think if we were saving like $8 million to get rid, I think they'd probably do it, Yeah. But with the cap savings not being exorbitant in any way, in addition to I don't think it's actually going to warrant a 3rd round pick is really hard to get for a player unless he's
3rd or 4th.
Really good
Let's
player.
go 4th. Yeah.
Let's say 4th. And that's if he performs really well in the injury history. I mean, I think it's unlikely, but I think this is a good one because this question's a good debate topic because it really does put it in perspective kind of where we are in the linebacker position. And I still think we need to add somebody.
Yeah, that was you brought up a lot of really good points, Randall, and you kind of almost sold me. But then when Alex brought up about how we're only saving $2 million against the cap and the fact that Dorian's a free agent after this year, I just don't see it happening this year. And you almost got me, Randall, but I'm gonna have to give the point.
That was my hottest take of the 3 for sure.
If we saved like $5 million instead of $2 million,
right?
If it was I probably would have given it to you because the schematic fit and stuff like that. But the fact that Dorian is a free agent, literally the only person. We only have 2 linebackers under contract after this year, and trading one of them just doesn't seem very likely when we're already really tight against the cap.
And I think they'll want to validate their investment in him, right? Bean made an investment in him, paid him a lot of money for a player that hasn't been on the field a ton, that fit well with what he wanted to do, and actually showed up better than what we thought he would when we originally. When he first got the job, we all had questions about him. And then he came in and he performed admirably when he was on the field. And then last year he played through injuries and it really took it out of him. I think he's still feeling that. He looks like, to me, downtrodden. He's talked multiple times now, every time with his helmet on, very somber and quiet with things. And I'm just like, it doesn't feel good to me. I don't know.
Yeah. There's an out after not this season, but the year after that.
The next year after that, it's much.
Yeah, more, I think he's gonna not gonna be on the team after 2 years, but 1 year, no.
He could get traded next year. He ain't making the team in 2028.
Probably
he's
not.
Probably unless
I mean,
Elam Zora, I have a good vibe about him, and he's had good reviews at camp. I know it's mini camp, but he just is such a better fit for this type of defense, in my opinion, as far as being the true green dot Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the last 2 are going to be I defend, and then against Alex, who argues, then Randall defends against I argue. I think those are the last 2. Trying to.
So here's what we should do. You and Randall go now to see who wins. Whoever wins plays me in the championship round at the last question, whatever's left on the board.
Oh, it's perfect.
Okay. That works. I'm defending though. Oh no, Randall's defending. Yeah, well,
Randall's defending.
We'll let Randall defend his take.
Yep, I think it's a good idea.
Okay, what is your final take, Randall?
Alec Anderson's play. It's a Buffalo Combat Zone friendly discussion. Alec Anderson's play gets him extended next year in the offseason.
Miley, he's never gonna talk to you ever again.
I gotta argue against Alec? Oh, I gotta argue against come on.
Apologize in advance because you see him. You live in Buffalo. He's gonna kick your ass and get kicked off.
Yeah, I'm going golfing with him in a month.
Oh God, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to our tackle, we paid our tackles and our centers in long-term contracts. The most important thing is getting our interior guards also locked up in familiarity, but also in smaller contracts. And Alec Anderson is one of those guys that meets in the middle of a decent-sized contract that you can get a left guard, but without having to pay an exorbitant amount of money to lock up your left guard. The familiarity of that line, if he will be able to produce in his high-energy octane style this year and be able to be next to Deion Dawkins and our center, will make sure that it's locked up on that left side for James Cook rushing and pass blocking as well. His high energy and his crass attitude, I think, is important, especially on this team when it comes to it, because we were starting to develop into that no nonsense and I don't take crap behavior. So I think he fits what our culture is turning into. And the way he moves and on the inside guard and what he did for us last year in the one game was what earned that 1 year. And now he's got a shot to take his starting role and then feed off his 1 year contract of this year coming into his second year. I think he's beloved by the offensive line, so they will also give him the credit that they want and to keep him. So he is the perfect world shared in between not having to go into a free agency market and paying top dollar for a guy, getting familiarity in your system, and still not having to pay a top tier guard contract.
You suck for making me having to argue this.
Yeah, I clearly didn't plan it on the wheel.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess what I will say is he isn't proven. He has never been a starter. He hasn't shown it yet. While I think there is definitely a good chance he will, he has yet to show anything. He is an unproven commodity. He is only on a 1 year deal. They could have seen what they liked and tried to extend him before and give him a 2 or 3 year. But the fact that he's only on a 1 year deal means that maybe there is some doubt in there that he will be the guy. They brought in Austin Corbett, who has started in the past on multiple teams. So he is a bit more proven. And then they also brought in Cushenberry. They have Cedric Van Pangranger, which they might both be just center only, but that's still interior offensive line. And then they drafted Jude Bowery, which a lot of people think could make a move to guard. So they've brought in a lot of other pieces to the interior offensive line, and they haven't really been committal on an extension with him yet. And the fact that he's not proven shows that there is doubt that he will be able to be a full 17 game consistent starter that earns an extension. That's really all I got.
All right, so
now that I'm done arguing this, I was lying. I think you already know that. I think he also gets extended. I hate you, Randall, for making him argue.
I'll be honest. I think I'm torn in some ways because he's a friend of the show, clearly.
Give it to Miley. Give it to Miley,
but I think Miley made some good points with what he said, because you're right. In order to get the extension, we have to see the season play out. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I think he's going to do it. I think he's from every report I've seen is making Austin Corbett, like people are saying they'd be shocked if Corbett takes the job from him. Matt Perino said that the other day. So, I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be good, and he could be a long-term starter. I think it'd be smart to sign him because 1 year production is not going to get. I mean, this is just the nature of the business, right? They're not going to pay him $15 million a year after 1 year. You know what I mean?
Right.
He might end up being like I hate to say it like this, like a $6 million guard that's Pro Bowl player. You know what I mean? Like it could happen.
That was kind of my main case there.
Yeah. So I'm pretty torn on it.
I completely agree.
Yeah. Give it to Miley because he's going golfing with him.
Yeah.
And I apologize if Alec Anderson is watching. I apologize that we had to defend against it. I personally just want to see you guys go at it. I was hoping not to defend it because I wanted
to.
Yeah.
All right. So it's me and Miley at the last round.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, and then who wants? I'll defend this, even though I fully don't believe my last hot take. I kind of believe it. I got an argument already played out.
That means I'll probably be in the
you'll
right
argue it and ran. So my final hot take is that James Cook will end the season with under 1,200 rushing yards.
Ooh.
Are you defending that, right?
I am defending that, and I have a couple under 1,200 rushing yards.
I'm willing to switch with you and take it if you want.
No, I'll take it. I have reasons why I believe this.
Okay.
I'm not fully. It wasn't like my other two hot takes were like I am pretty confident. Like like this one I have reason to believe it, but I could also be proven wrong pretty quickly and be like, yeah. Cool. But anyways, so I think I have a couple of different points. First off, I think he's going to be used more in the receiving game than he has in years past. I think again. Joe Brady, I'm going to go back to this like I have so many times. Him saying he didn't say he was a Sean Payton guy by accident. Sean Payton loves to throw to running backs. Where did our offensive coordinator coach before he came to Buffalo? He was Alvin Kamara. Our offensive coordinator. He was Alvin Kamara's offensive coordinator in New Orleans when he was having these insane receiving seasons. What was one of James Cook's comps coming out of college? Alvin Kamara. We haven't really given him the opportunity to prove him as a receiving back. I think Joe Brady and Pete Carmichael will want to use that. So I think he will get more receiving touches, and I think we will be more of a pass-happy offense, so he's going to get less opportunities to run the ball. I also think they're going to want to give Ray Davis more opportunities, as he has said that he wants to earn these opportunities. He doesn't, not that he doesn't like, but like he wishes he had more opportunities on the team. I think they're going to want to try and give him a few more opportunities, like his contract's coming up. He's extension eligible if they want to keep him cheap, keep him around for maybe whenever James Cook wants a raise, and you can play around with that. But I think they're going to want to keep him happy. And they also aren't going to want to make James Cook a bell cow that's getting 300 plus carries a year to keep him fresh. Like the Bills have done a really good job keeping James Cook fresh. So he hasn't really dealt with much injuries, and we will be able to get him productive for a decent amount of time. So I don't think he's going to get the touches, carries to be able to get rack up a lot of rushing yards like last year, because our passing attack is going to be better. I also think our offensive line is worse. Like I trust Alec. I think Alec Anderson will step in and be good, but losing David Edwards is going to be an adjustment period. Losing Reggie Gilliam will hurt. Losing Aaron Cromer will hurt. And I think our run blocking has gone down, will be a little bit worse than last year, losing those pieces. And the increase of us wanting to throw the ball and our passing offense, we won't rely on him as much running the ball. So he will not get the carries to get 1,200 rushing yards.
Okay. I don't think him receiving the ball matters for his rushing attempts. I think that they're going to implement the running back into the passing game more often, which I think they probably will. I think that they're still going to run the ball quite a bit. I think they're going to want to take more off of Josh's shoulders in some respects. And I think ultimately they trust James Cook. They just paid him. I think they're going to, I hate to say it like this, I think they're going to run him into the ground until the end of this contract just to get their money's worth. Not in a bad way, but like they're paying him. Right. It's like, hey, go do it. Yeah. I think that his least yards per carry season under Brady's been 4.9. If he gets 250 carries, he breaks 1,200 yards. He had 307 last year with 5.2 yards an attempt. Even if you take it at 4.9, then that's still going to break 1,200. That'd be a big dip. So even if he dips significantly, he's still probably over 1,200 yards. And I think they're going to lean into that. I just don't think they trust Ray Davis or Ty Johnson to be a carrier of the football like that. And the league is trending towards it's starting to go back, right? Their running game's coming back a little bit because people are still have residuals from their small personnel over the last 5 to 10 years when everybody was playing small ball and everybody's throwing the ball more. There's still residual to that. 12 personnel, 13 personnel is big right now with more tight ends. You saw a bunch of like second tier centers go in this last draft. I think teams are gearing up to run the ball more often. I think that'll run out in maybe a year or two, but I think it's still going to be in trend this year. And I think they're going to lean into it with Cook. I don't think he's hitting 1,600 yards again, but I would be surprised if he goes south of 1,300, even if Ray Davis gets more carries.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Both were very good. Alex's take for defending for over 1,200 was pretty much exactly mine at that point. I mean, his lowest was 4.7 yards per carry at 260, which is about 50 rushes less than what he had last year. He'd still be at 1,222. So take away 50 rushes and even have his career low, he's at over 1,200. So I think he gets over that. But I mean, it was valiant, Miley. I do like it. I do think Ray Davis takes on some passing because he's also in that passing. So I think they split the passing to make like a dual Alvin Kamara together as an RB1.
That makes sense.
I know.
Okay,
I know that was a very hard take for you to kind of get there. But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just you can keep talking and then I'll.
No, that's okay. Pretty much my take for why he'd get over 1,200 was pretty pinpoint to what Alex had to say.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I just kind of wanted to throw out a take. We haven't really talked, honestly, about James Cook much on this podcast.
That's so true.
Season. And I'm like, I kind of feel like his rushing production just going to go down. So I'm just like, I might as well throw it out there. And that's why I was like, this was one I would have been pretty objective to judge because I just wanted to basically play devil's advocate on why I think he could end up having a dip in rushing. Not that I totally believe he's going to drop 450 yards.
It is valid. He's only has one season out of 4 over 1,200 yards. Now the first 2 years he's splitting a lot of carries, but last year
237, 207,
barely had over 1,000 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There is one more thing I want to bring up, not to do with this game, but I just want to give a shout out to John Green on Twitter. He gave us a shout out in one of his articles last week. You can go and you can read him over on medium.com. He puts out articles weekly, and you can follow him on Twitter at jgreen_PR Sports. Go give him his articles some love, as he gave our podcast some love and gave us a nice shout out. So I wanted to return the favor.
In his defense, too, he's an excellent writer.
He's a really good job.
And this is his job, like full-time job, not like a part-time thing. And I think he might be changing companies soon. But
I think switching over to Medium was him changing.
Because he was with Buffalo Rumblings.
There's another one.
Yeah, he was on Buffalo Rumblings and he switched to Medium.com.
I think there's another one coming in like a week. Yeah.
Nice.
So upgrade, I would say.
Yep.
And
he said, I asked him if he wanted to come on the show to speak. He wanted to. He said he just hasn't had a chance to. He's been pretty busy, but potentially.
I talked to him about it as well. So yeah, he potentially down the road. Yeah.
He wanted to be on if we interview another player, which I think would be cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So, all right. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, Sorsby and Texas Tech parted ways while we were on the pod.
I was gonna say that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's going to enter the supplemental draft.
Why? This is the question. Okay, so last thing we'll talk about, because I saw the same thing I was going to bring up, totally forgot. Why would he do all this shit to go back, and then now he's not going to go back? Is that what's happening, or is he just hedging his bet?
My guess is that big Texas Tech AD looked at the validity of other Big 12 teams not willing to play against them. And probably lost that talking to lawyers and be like, nah, they can do that. Yeah. And he's like, okay, well, probably talk to Sorsby because Texas Tech doubled down. Like, you guys see the video of the Texas Tech, whoever that was like, it's not like he killed somebody. And it's like, brother, this is football. And he's betting on betting on his own team.
Yeah.
On his own team. Like, that.
He was betting against?
He bet under. He bet an under, which is against him, if he bet over, I'd be a lot less like crazy about it. You know what I mean? Like, because his job's to score points, but you're betting the under, like that's that's even if you win, that's cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that's
for sure.
It's bad. What are your projections of where you would get drafted though?
I do think the
Third?
Jets take him.
Second round, yeah.
Second
Yeah.
or third. Just
I
to
think the
see
Cardinal. I think the Cardinals will throw it. I think
Yeah.
the Jets want to suck for Arch.
maybe, but there's no
Yeah,
guarantee
I
you
think-
get Arch.
I think that the Jets are sick. I think they just want to lock down a quarterback and don't want to do like the Cardinals. They just took back. I wouldn't be surprised they want to go Sorsby and just let them battle it out.
That's fair.
Yeah. Man, it's tough because I think this is the right move for him. I think he did not. I think this is the best way to
It's the
wipe
right
it on the
move for
rug.
college football.
Yeah, that
Like,
too. The best way for
yeah.
him to forget it and move on is just to get out.
Yeah.
And see what happens. And if he doesn't do that and he went back to college, we'd be talking about it all year.
For
Or
sure.
now
And quickly on a
we might
human
not.
note, because I know that like Brendan Sorsby did something awful. I don't know what I would do with $1 million and my phone being able to gamble on a
Yeah.
regular basis while you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
I had a bookie. One of my bartenders was my bookie when I was 21 years old,
Yeah.
and I had to wait 4 days to get paid if I got my bet done. I don't know what the hell I would do at 21 years old with that.
With that kind of
bookie
money.
in my
Yeah, with
pocket.
and that easy access. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Think about this too. If someone gave me $1 million per year at 20, and I was like, they were like, the only thing you can't do with it is gamble it, right? I wouldn't do it personally,
Yeah,
but I understand that he has a problem, right? That he needs to get, I mean, it's like an
Yeah,
alcohol
some of the
addiction.
stuff
It's an
he was
addiction.
betting on is
It
some of
is.
the stuff he was betting on
Yeah.
is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, like
Like
this is
middle of the night
I
Korean
believe-
basketball and
I did not
Right.
know that. Yeah.
oh yeah,
That's bad.
All you have to
betting
do
on
is
some
you
obscure
just look at the
shit
odds,
like
right?
middle of the night
Yeah.
stuff.
Or just
Once
stay
you
away
see,
from
once
your
you
own
see
team.
decent odds, you just go and don't
And
care what happens.
Here's the thing: like, if he stayed away from betting on his teams or in college football at all,
The 2-game
wouldn't-
suspension would have been fine.
I would have not cared at all. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
care.
wouldn't even care if he got suspended if he wasn't betting on.
A
college
lot of people
football.
gamble. I don't think you should
Yeah.
be prohibited from gambling to play.
I
I just
think
think you should be
if-
prohibited from gambling on your sport.
Yeah,
I do. I think
on your league.
I think once you
Like-
hit professional sports, you shouldn't. If you're employed by a professional team, you just shouldn't be able to gamble
Well,
until
is
you're
it
done.
NFL? Why can't I gamble on the NBA or the MLB? I got no connection. I'm
Because
not playing in
because
that league.
like let's look at the basketball case that's going on now. The reason that they are in hot water and why they started fixing games is because you go to a casino, a underground somebody finds you, they invite you to a secret game, they make you purposely lose, and they say, hey, that 200 grand debt that you have,
Oh, yeah.
you could wash that away. And that's
True.
what like mobs and everybody like that try and set those athletes up to get you in precarious situations to
Yeah.
force you into that hand. So
All
I'm
right.
not saying that the gambling in itself is, but the dangers of the integrity of sports is really what's at hand.
All right. Well,
Okay, yeah, stuff
Randall-
like that. But I mean, like if you have a FanDuel account, you're just throwing down $10 parlays on the MLB as a NFL offensive lineman. I don't see an issue with that.
It's
I don't
like
see
a
an issue with
gate.
that either.
It's like a gateway.
It's a
drug,
gateway, right?
though. So like
Yeah.
Randall, I'm giving Randall.
Yeah,
an
maybe
extra
they
point
shouldn't be going to
for that.
casinos and shit like that.
Randall gets a
Right.
debate point for that because I think Randall
Yeah.
made a good point to sway me back to the other direction. So that was good. That was a good.
Alex
That was a
is
good
not
point.
the debate champion.
Although I think, yeah. Although I do think that your example was very 1980s gambling, but I think it makes a lot of sense still because I was
Yeah,
born in
it
the
is. It
80s.
is for sure.
I
But,
was
you
an
know,
80s kid, so
Yeah.
that's I'm in. I'm into.
Yeah,
your argument.
you applied to the unk in you there.
Yeah, it
For
was the
sure. Oh, yeah.
It was like a 1980s like movie with John Cusack in it, and he
Right.
was gambling away his money. He's playing football. He's clearly not a believable football player, like Keanu Reeves actually is one of the better ones I've seen, but there's some bad ones out there. Every time I see a sports movie that throw a football, I'm like, dude, this is bad. Like
It's bad.
crazy. They're
James
just simple
Vanderbeek,
things, man.
good
Yeah.
thrower. James Vanderbeek's a good thrower of the football in
Yeah.
Varsity Blues.
Oh yeah.
Even I don't know if they used a body double, but Jamie Foxx in what's it called? Any
Oh,
Given
yeah,
Sunday was
Yeah,
decent.
yeah. He could sling it.
Yeah. Sunshine was pretty good in Remember the Titans. I thought he was solid. I think all the quarterbacks in what's that show called? Friday Night Lights is bad. Like Matt Sorensen and his
I know. He looked like he was like 5'8", 150 pounds. So
every time he throws his arms up like this
150.
when he's throwing,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, he's like 5'8" max. $1.55.
Man, I love that show. I'm gonna do a rewatch of that show.
I just started doing a rewatch. It's actually
hell yeah,
highly recommend. Miley, if you haven't seen it, it's amazing. All right, guys, you got anything else? All right,
should be good.
Good.
Like, share, subscribe. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.